Hey, what's up, guys? It's mr.ipock coming in with a homework help video. I have lesson 7.1 homework so this would be for my fourth, my fifth, and my eighth period. So this is a homework help video just to kind of help you guys with your homework. Once you get home, you get confused, you can kind of check this out for some help. So let's start with just going straight in here. Now, if you're in one of my algebra classes, this would have been 3.1 homework. So let's just start with number 5. How about that? Start with number 5. Let me zoom in here. Going with number 5 to begin with. So if I'm looking at number 5, the first thing I ask myself is, can I combine any like terms on the left side or on the right side? And of course, if you draw that line, I can't combine anything over here because nothing's like terms. But can I combine anything over here? Yes, I can. I can combine this negative 5a and this 3a. So I combine those. I write what I have down left. 8 minus a equals 15. And then negative 5a plus 3a would be negative 2a. Now I have everything. I have it in basically simplified as far as combining like terms. Now I need to get my variable to one side. And this is what we talked about in class today. As far as, moving numbers around and what's the best way to do it. And it's totally up to you. So I'm going to start by just moving this plus. I'm going to get this a to the left side. And I do that through inverse operations. I do the inverse of subtraction, which is addition. And what I do to one side, I got to do to the other. So plus 2a, that cancels. I now have 8, negative 1 plus 2. If I'm at negative 1 and I move to the right 2 times, that's going to take me to a positive 1a, or just simply a. And that's going to be equal to 15. And then from there, I just got to isolate to get the variable a alone. Or I just got to do the inverse to isolate a. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. And I have a equals 15 minus 8 is 7. A equals 7. Okay. Hope that kind of helped you there. Now let's look at, let's jump down here to number 10. Or no, let's go to number 6 next, and then we'll go to number 10. Looking at number 6, we got 6 minus 3n equals negative 3n plus 2n. Can I combine anything on the left side? I cannot. So I ask myself, can I combine anything on the right side? Yes, I can. I actually can combine negative 3n and 2n. I can combine those. I write down my left side. I just bring it down. 6 minus 3n equals negative 3 plus 2 would be negative 1n. Okay? And then from there, I ask myself, I need to get my variable to one side. I can't combine anything else, so I need to get my variable to one side. So I would add this 3n to both sides. Add 3n. This cancels. I got 6 equals negative 1 plus 3n. So if you say negative 1, move to the right 3 times, that would take you to a positive 2n. All right. Then from there, we isolate the variable n by doing the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. Divide both sides by 2, and we get n equals 3. Okay. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and look at 7. Look at 7 because it looks like it could be maybe cause some problems. So looking at number 7, we have negative 8x plus 7 on the left. None of that can be combined because 7 doesn't have a variable with it. So looking on the right side, we have negative 2x minus 7x plus 3. The negative 2x and the negative 7x can be combined. Right? So we combine those. We bring down everything else. And again, guys, you can stop this video at any time to kind of rewind back and check it, or pause at any time to kind of keep up with the pace. So negative 8x plus 7, I just dropped the left side. Negative 2x minus 7, signs are alike, so you add. So that'd be negative 9x plus 3. Now, it appears that we kind of have it where we want it. Now we need to get our x's to one side. Okay, we want to get our x's to one side. So let's do that. So I'm going to add 9x. I'm going to do the inverse. I want to get the x's to the left side. I want to get it over here to this side. So I'm going to add 9x to both sides. That cancels. Negative 8 plus 9. If I have negative $8 in my checking account and I deposit $9, I'm going to have 1 left over. So that's just going to be 1, or just simply x, or 1x, plus 7 equals 3. From there, I'm going to have to isolate x. This is a one-step equation. Do the inverse. If you ever want to isolate this, look, right here I'm finished. Just x equals 3. That's what I want, but in order to do that, I got to get that off, so I got to do the inverse, which is going to be subtract 3, cancels, x equals 3 minus 7 would be negative 4. Okay, and I'll just give you just a quick second to kind of take a look at that. All right, let's jump down to number 10 real quick. Jumping down to number 10. 8 minus 6n equals negative 4n minus 3n. So, is there anything I can combine on the left side? Nope, there's not. Is there anything I can combine on the right side? Yes, there is. So I can combine negative 4n and negative 3n. So I combine those, and I have 8 minus 6n. I drop that down equals negative 4n minus 3n is negative 7n. From there, I need to get my variables to one side. So I'm going to put all my variables on this side, just starring it, just showing you that's where my variables are going. So I'm going to do that by adding 6n to both sides. Now, I could have added 7n to both sides. Totally up to you what you do. Remember, we can all do it different ways. That cancels. 8 equals negative 7n plus 6 would give us negative 1n. Now, we're almost finished. This is a one-step equation from here. I just need to isolate the variable n by doing the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division, and divide both sides by negative 1. N equals a positive divided by a negative is a negative. 8 divided by 1 is 8. My final answer, n equals negative 8. I'll do a couple more for you. Let's go ahead and look at number 11. Okay, looking at number 11, 2n plus 3 minus 2 minus 10 equals 3n minus 8. So there's actually, we can combine a lot of things with this number 11. We can combine 3, 2, and 10. Right? So we combine those, we get 2n, and then 3 minus 2 would be 1. So plus 1 minus 10 equals 3n minus 8. Now notice what I did there. I didn't just try to combine them all at the same time. I'm sure many of you could do that, but again, let's just take our time with it. So we have, and then now I can combine this 1 and this 10, so I have 2n, and if I have $1 and I lose 10, okay, then that is going to take me to negative 9. 1 minus 10 would give me, would give me negative 9. So, from there, I bring down my right side, 3n minus 8, and now I have 2n minus 9 equals 3n minus 8. Now I need to get my variable to one side. I'm going to put my variable to the right side here. So I'm going to get my variables over here. So that means I'm going to subtract this 2n from both sides. This cancels. I got negative 9 equals 3 minus 2 is just simply 1n. You can write a 1, but you also can just write n minus 8. And then from there, we are going to say add 8 to both sides in order to isolate the variable. And I have negative 9 plus 8, which will take me to negative 1. So n equals negative 1. Okay. That's that. Looking at number 14. Look at number 14. 3 minus 6x minus 7x equals negative 8x minus 8x. All right. So if I'm looking at this, I actually can combine a few things. I can combine 6x and 7x, or negative 6x and 7x, and negative 8x and negative 8x. So if you're looking at this, and you're asking yourself, I can combine these two, so I combine negative 6 minus 7. I bring this 3 down, will give us simply negative 13x equals negative 8x minus 8x. Now don't get this confused with negative 8x plus 8x. These don't cancel out. Negative 8 minus 8 will give us negative 16x. Then from there, we got to get our variable to one side. From here, it looks pretty simple to me that we need to add this 13x to both sides to get our variables over here. So add 13x, add 13x. This cancels. I have 3 equals negative 16 plus 13 would take us to negative 3x. We divide both sides by negative 3 in order to isolate the variable, and we get x is equal to negative 1. Okay. Hey, and that will conclude this homework help video. I hope it makes sense to you. If you have questions, see me in the morning, and I hope you guys have a good evening. Thank you.